Alright folks, thanks for joining me today. We got another power tool spotlight. Today we're discussing the reciprocating saw. Okay folks, so if you've been around a construction site, you've probably seen one of these. You might have already used one of these. The reciprocating saw is a fantastic saw for demolition or for building. A lot of times it gets used in remodels, but also new construction. So a reciprocating saw has a reciprocating motion. Funny, huh? So a reciprocating motion is just back and forth. It's the basic action of a saw. It's not like a blade that rotates like a circular saw. This one just goes back and forth. And you can get all kinds of blades for it. This is a demolition blade that it has a wider, stronger blade that makes it not want to bend and twist as easy. And it has these smaller teeth to be able to cut nails and wood. So this is a Makita reciprocating saw. It's commonly, the nickname of these is the Sawzall, because I believe it was Milwaukee that first came out with these, and they named theirs the Sawzall or Sawzall. So these are kind of like that. That's kind of like the name for them. Like when you say I need a Post-it note, you don't say I need a self-adhesive small piece of paper, or you're like I need a Kleenex. You don't say I need a facial tissue, right? So people say I need the Sawzall. This one is not called a Sawzall. It's not branded that. It is a reciprocating saw, but a lot of times people just call it the Sawzall. Now with the reciprocating saw, it has a lot of power. It'll make you sometimes feel like He-Man. Yeah, like that. I have the power. So make sure when you use this, you're using your safety glasses, and I always like muffs or earplugs. Now, a couple features to look for when you get one of these or when you're using it. It should have something like this. That is to make the motor go faster. So we will turn it down to the slowest setting, number 1. Then I'm going to turn it up all the way to number 6. So depending on what you're doing, you can change the speed at which it reciprocates. It also has this little feature right here, and what that does is you can go from 0, 1, or 2, and that makes it to where instead of going just back and forth, which is the 0 setting, it'll go a little bit like this. So it'll move up and down a little bit as it reciprocates. So that allows you to maybe go a little bit faster on the cutting or something. So one other thing I really look for in a reciprocating saw is the quick change feature. I do not like to get an Allen wrench to lock my blade in here. This one has a little lever, and then the blade comes out. When you're ready to put the blade in, you just slide it in there. And it clicks shut. So undone. And it just snaps in there. And then you're ready to rock, you're ready to go. So this is a really nice Sawzall. I've had this for many years. I don't use it all the time, but when I use it, it gets used hard. I use it a lot in cutting stair treads because you're cutting out those things. But you can do a whole lot with a reciprocating saw. So my advice is buy a decent one, buy a good one. You don't have to buy the top of the line, but I also wouldn't buy like the lowest tier. I would look for quick change, variable speed, and you don't necessarily need the oscillating type motion, but it's nice to have too. So that, folks, is your reciprocating saw. Sawzall tip, use a guide if you have it. So instead of me cutting this right up next to it, I'm going to use a guide. I'm going to use this 2x6 as a guide. Now, do I need to say it? You got it? Maybe, I don't know. I think you got it. Now I'll say it. Work hard, because hard work is its own reward. And do something today to better yourself.
By the power of Grayskull. I